Good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning. Yesterday is the day that we are sitting at 19,989. So this morning, I'm just going to turn this down because I'm going to just keep an eye on. Oh, that's weird. Got myself on the telly as well. Got a couple of screens on today. I'm going to have to get another screen. Anyway, good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this morning, where we're going to talk about quite a few things. And there's quite a lot to talk about after yesterday, and there's quite a lot of headlines. There is quite a lot of headlines, as you would expect, going around about Celtic after yesterday. Let me just do this, just to double check. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, yesterday Celtic scored a cracking few goals, a good cracking. How can you get the? How did I get the chart on the? You can't get the chart on the telly. Interesting. I just noticed if you're on the TV, you don't get the chart coming up on the screen. But anyway. Right, I'm going to jump straight into some of the headlines that came out yesterday. Liam Scales bounces back from Wembley red card with a goal and big Celtic win. Liam Scales bounced back from his first appearance since his dismissal at Wembley, making a goal-scoring contribution in Celtic's comfortable win over Ross County. It's been a challenging couple of weeks for the Wicklow native who saw red against England. And that's coming out of the Irish Independent. But it was a positive on Saturday for Scales, who opened the scoring in the 10th minute and created another as the champions destroyed the hapless guests of Ross County. Now, somebody said in the comment yesterday, they said, look, it was only Ross County, get a grip. I think we need to remind people of some of the score lines that we've had with Ross County over the years. And, you know, it's always been a tight occasion with Ross County. What's good about this Celtic team, and what's good about Celtic just now in general, is that Celtic are going for the jugular. They're just going for the kill. And they want to entertain the fans right for the get-go. And they want... Brendan Rodgers spoke about it. And when I seen one of the headlines, actually, where is it? Brendan spoke about, look, this time last year, we were booed off the pitch. Yeah, a year ago today, when people were still not in love with Brendan, and people that were still weren't convinced that Brendan should be back and he wasn't the right manager. The team was booed off the park. They were booed off the park, and you remember we lost a couple of games in the December. So let's listen to this Brendan Rodgers interview first of all, because I've not heard this one myself. So let's listen to this one. See if we can get this one going. Wait on the bloody adverts. Everybody puts adverts on everything these days.
About a year ago we got booed off here against Ross County when we lost. We won actually, sorry. We won the game 1-0.
Won the game 1-0.
So to come out and play to that level 12 months later, I think it really tells you where the team and the mentalities are moving to.
And what does it say about the depth that you can make all those changes, and in fact 4 of the guys who come in go and get on the score sheet?
Yeah, but it's everything. They're all starters really. But we all understand that it will be a squad game because you cannot play the same players all the time, and hence the reason for making the changes today. The energy, the freshness, the mentality, the quality, everything was there, and all the guys that came in, I just said to them, they done so well and kept that energy in the game for us.
Yep, they kept that energy in the game for us. They did that for sure, as we're sitting at 19,990. Right, text your mates, text your mum, text your sisters, text your brother, text everybody you know. Get them to subscribe to the One Celtic Fans View this morning. Let's get to 20,000 this morning. Let's jump into the chat and see what people are saying about the game and that yesterday. It was interesting that Brendan Rodgers pulled up about the fact that we got booed off the park this time last year. this time last year, people were saying that we were playing too much side-to-side football and all the rest of it, and it was Brendan ball, and then it was interesting when we got to the end of the season and Big Joe Hart left Celtic, that he says, look, Brendan didn't put his own stamp on the Celtic team until way after Christmas, and he thought that he's sitting in the dressing room going, come on, Brendan, when are you going to put your own stamp on this team? He was still playing the way that Ange Postecoglou said, and he was trying to keep the players focused the way that Ange had them focused, and he didn't change it too much. He wasn't wanting to make too many changes to the team and the squad and things. And it's just interesting that he pinpointed that. Brendan's got a brain like, he forgets nothing. He forgets absolutely nothing. You could tell Brendan something 5 years ago and he'll pull it up in conversation, that's for sure. But anyway, I'm going to jump into the chat, see who's always in. Richard was in first. David Davison says, morning troops. Liz Donnelly says, morning Baz, morning everyone. Joseph Davison, 11 to go Baz, we've got 10 now. Just text all your mates, text everyone. I wanted this done and dusted this morning. We're staying on till we hit the 20k. I know it's early and folk will be in their bed and they're like, oh, fucking piss off, man. I'm no fucking going on YouTube at this time of the morning. Anyway, Carly says, hail, hail, all my peoples. Very proud to be here with these beautiful human beings. Adrian Gunn. Adrian, how are you? It's long time no see. Long time no see. How are you, mate? Morning, a great game yesterday. Yeah, it was a great game yesterday. Where, have you been over this way lately? I've not been down to Paddy's Point for ages. Alan and Linda keep telling me, you need to come down to Paddy's Point. But I'm like, it's half hour drive. Got to go through the tolls and everything. Connell says, morning Baz, hail, hail from the Highlands of Scotland. And everyone in the chat, Robert Gibson says, we should have rattled another 5 in the second half just to rub it in. A boy from Benioff, another one for out this way. Calmac with another screamer outside the box. He's loving football just now. He's a class captain. Calmac, that's a trait of Calmac, not just this season, but through his career. Calmac's always been that one of those players that will hit a fantastic shot for outside the box. And I just think that as a player, and as he's grown into there was only one person for me that could ever be captain after Scott Brown left, and it was always going to be Callum McGregor, due to the fact that he came through the system and he knew Celtic inside out, and he'd played with so many good midfield players in the middle of that Celtic pitch, and he knows Celtic, he knows Celtic. And some people say he's past it. Not at all. When you look at the way that Scott Brown improved under Brendan Rodgers when he came into Celtic, I think Callum McGregor is going to do the same. And the fact that Callum's now stepped back from international duty can only help him even more. It can only help Callum even more and focus on getting that little break when it's the international weeks. Callum he'll relish the next couple of years. He'll absolutely relish the next couple of seasons at Celtic. And I think that you may ultimately see the best out of Callum McGregor. You'll see him performing a bit better. No, I don't think he can get any better, Callum, because he's a fantastic player. He reads the game so well, reads the player's position so well. He's always looking around the team, and he's always really focused on what everyone else is doing as well. And let's face it, there's some games that when you nullify Callum McGregor, you're nullifying Celtic, and some of Celtic's opponents over the last few years have tried to do that, and they've definitely tried to do it in Europe as well. Luke fitting right in to our way, and the squad is looking great, says Joseph. We're going to get onto Luke in a minute, and I think that when we think back to the end of August, and we've seen the lights come on late at night at Celtic Park, just coming up for midnight, and the lights got switched back on inside the ground, which told everyone there's another player coming in, and there was the talk that it was Luke McCowen was coming in. Obviously Hibernian had put that £1 million offer in for Luke McCowen. Remember, Hibernian had 3 offers put in. They were desperate to try and get the player in the last couple of days of the transfer window, and then Celtic pop up with an offer right at the last minute, and the smile on the lad's face You know, you can't hide that. You can't hide that elation. It's just, my God. And you knew that one of our own were walking through the door at Celtic Park, and he's waited his time. You know, he knows that he's not going to walk straight into the team. He knows, like Tony Ralston, he knows that he's not going to be a first team starter. But when called upon, he's going to do 110%. You know, he's not going to be a player that's going to come in and do 80, 90% and just do enough to get by in a game. He's going to show everybody what everyone's missing. And I called it out. I mean, I put a shot up from the preview for the game yesterday when the team was called out. And I said, look, McCowen's going to score a screamer. And he did. He scores an absolute cracker at Celtic Park yesterday. Absolute cracker. The chat does come up on the TV. It says, Usher Celtic. It's not coming up on mine. It's maybe because I've got this is an older TV and it's I've just came out it altogether, and it's running through the app, the YouTube app. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. Skip that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I've got it on this screen. Stephen Johnson's in the house. Stephen, I hope you're okay after your hospital visit yesterday. I know that you're going through quite a lot personally, and I hope everyone's okay, mate. I really mean that. Yeah, it's unbelievable what Stephen Johnson's going through, and he's in this chat every single day, but. He doesn't talk about it. He just gets on with life, and that's what I love about this. You know, and Stephen, you're just one of the most amazing people in this community. Tamak is in house. Joseph Davison. Carly says all the best of the Tims. John Thompson says, do you know that that's a Celtic supporters club in Cardenden? The John Thompson. Superb. What a squad Brendan Rodgers has built in such a short time. Yes, and when you think about it, all the players that came on yesterday, could Brendan Rodgers have got the same performance? Could Brendan Rodgers have got the same performance this time? Well, obviously not, because we were booed off the park this time last year, Brendan said. And we heard him say it at the beginning of the video. When we look at the players that came in, not last summer, 2 summers ago, when Brendan first came into the club, and you look at the number of players that came in that were all prospects. When you look at the players that started yesterday that are not first team starts, it shows that we're in a lot better position, and the quality of the squad is completely different. The quality of the squad is completely different, and I'm glad that Brendan Rodgers stuck to his guns, and I'm glad that Brendan Rodgers got Paul Tisdale in during the summer, and they've sat down and had lots of conversations about the type of player that Brendan wants, the type of player and the level of the player. And look, Arnie Engels is still a prospect. You know, Arnie Engels is not the finished prospect. He's not the finished article. Arnie Engels has got a lot of growth when it comes to player, and the fact that we're now spending 11 million on a prospect, and you know, and he's going to turn out to be a fantastic player also. Give him 6 months to get his feet under the table, and people will say, well, he's had 6 months, he's had since August. Give him a full pre-season at Celtic. You know, Brendan Rodgers always talks about the pre-season at Celtic. He always talks about getting players in, getting that pre-season. Pre-season, you've got to remember that when Celtic are playing just now, it's game when they were on the training pitch at Lennoxtown, day to day during the week just now, there's no tactical information getting taught to the players. It's basically just keeping the fitness levels up, keeping them going, you know, making sure that they're resting properly, making sure that their body's okay. You know, they'll be talking about the physios will be in, giving them massages and things like that, and just getting their bodies into peak physical condition so that they can play such regular games. There's no tactical, anything getting spoke about. There's no tactical tweaks getting talk about. All that's done in the pre-season at Celtic. It used to be done when we went away at the winter window. When we went to Dubai, you always seen a change in Celtic. When Brendan Rodgers took the players away for that week in Dubai, you always seen a change in Celtic. They came back a different team, and they steamrolled on to the league title at that point. We don't have that opportunity now. So the squad rotation that Brendan Rodgers has now implemented within the club is going to be massive going forward. I mean, Scotland's never going to bring back the winter break. And for me, the winter break was always at the wrong time. It was always at a time where the weather was actually, and historically, is always quite decent. I think the last time that we had a really bad winter was around about 14 years ago, when we were all snowed in for a month. But anyway, we'll move on from that. Alan says he went for 5-0 yesterday. He got it right. Dave says, Carly says, we're at 991. Stephen Johnson says, it's Carly says, Stephen Johnson, my man, think about you, pray for you also, speedy recovery. Yeah. I don't think Stephen really wants to talk about it in public, but he's sent me a message, and it's heavy duty. And he's just turned 21 and moved to a new club in a new country, a new league. Probably still in a hotel to give him some time. Brendan will help him improve. Exactly. You know, there's a lot to be said when you come. I mean, when you move to a new country and you've got to get settled in, he doesn't know anybody out with the club, you know, and football players don't generally mix with people outside the club anyway. Maybe they're barber, maybe they're the people at the favourite restaurant that they go to, but they're all taken there by other players, so they're living someone else's life, you know. And you have to think about that at 21-year-old. And people say, "Oh, but 20." Somebody said yesterday in the chat, "Oh, at 21 and 23, they're not kids. They don't need leaders on the park." And that's complete nonsense. At that age, you've not a clue what you're doing in life. Come on, let's face it. And trust me, I've got kids at that age. You know what I mean? They're going through with all sort of delusions of grandeur of what they want to try and achieve in life. And it's like, you're only 21. You've got your whole life in front of you. In football terms, you've got about 15 years in front of you. You know, this is what I'm talking about. In football terms, Arne Engels is just a baby. You know, football career is such a short career, but you go from being, you do have everything that goes before it, but in the professional career, you've obviously got the fact that they've been training to be a football player since probably about the age of 8. You know what I mean? A lot of them, and they go through the youth systems and that. But a professional career, we only see the short window of a professional's career, and that goes for the age of 18 to 34. We don't look at all the hard work that these footballers have had to put in. They've had to put in before then. You know, they've done all the groundwork, the hard work, the endless travelling. Their parents putting in so much money to take them back and forward to training, and you know, it was all on the parents, and it's unbelievable. And then we sit in the stands, and the reason that I'm talking about this is some so-called Celtic fan phoned Super Scoreboard yesterday, which takes me into this bit nice. And as Celtic fans, we sometimes have a dig at players, and it's not just Celtic fans, all football fans do it. And they have a dig at players and saying that they're not good enough, they're not this, they're not that. And you know, these people have worked and trained their entire life to do that. And it's what have you done? See, if I was a football player, I would turn around to a fan. What do you do? What's your job? How long have you been doing that? I've been doing this since I was 8-year-old. I said, I've worked up to this my entire life. I've focused. See, having that mentality to completely focus on one single career and be really good at it and focus that much to try and be the best that you can be in one single career, you've got to take your hats off. And people say, "Oh, it's only football. It's football, man. It's not a job. It's only football." Boy, for Ben Offer at 21, life was a blur. I had no idea at life. 21, still a kid. Yep, boy, for Ben Offer. When I was 21, we were meant to be going to the Foo Bar in Stirling. We ended up in Perth, and we ended up at a house party all night. And that was meant to be my 21st. You've not a clue what you're doing at 21. But anyway, I would digress, because we're going to talk about a Celtic fan who took who took to Super Scoreboard. If I could just find the article. There we go, it's this one. Yes, Celtic fans embarrassing Super Scoreboard rant. That's on one of the Celtic websites, which I found was quite funny. An entitled and embarrassed Celtic fan embarrassed himself on Super Scoreboard yesterday as Celtic ran out emphatic 5-0 winners over Ross County in the Scottish Premiership. Goals from Liam Scales, Luke McCowen, Paolo Bernardo, Adam Ida and Callum McGregor, all scoring before half-time. Now, I know where this guy's coming from, right? And I just think that, see these people that phone-ins, they just like the sound of their own voice, I think, and they like to just moan about everything. Despite the fact that Celtic had a fantastic first half, and people say, yeah, they took the foot off the gas the second half. This one Celtic fan phoned into Super Scoreboard and said he's bored of how good Celtic are. He says, and he's bored of the poor standard of competition in Scotland. Bored of the competition in Scotland. Do you think that Barcelona, and I've said this before, Barcelona playing a League of 20, do you think that Barcelona moan about going down to Almeria? Did they moan about going down to Elche? Did they moan about going down to, I don't know, where else? Granada? Do you know what I mean? And they don't. The players don't, because they respect their league. Their fans respect their league. Is it the fact, and I could go way off on tangent here, is it the fact that the Scottish football has been so focused over the last 30 years on the whole Rangers being dominant and the media pushing that down their throat? And let's remember, in the 1990s, right through the 1990s, the media completely confounded and pressurised everyone to thinking that Rangers had been this absolutely fantastic, amazing team throughout their whole history. When back in the 1980s, they were finishing third, fourth, even fifth in a season in the 1980s. But and the media in Scotland were like, Rangers are the best thing ever, and Scotland should be also the best YouTube channel in the world. What? I'm reading a comment. That Rangers are the best thing ever, and the world stopped when Rangers went into financial difficulties. And now that Celtic have had that period of dominance, you notice that the media in Scotland have not had the same love. They've not had the same. And is that ultimately the wider problem within Scottish football? And you know how I feel about the 12-team league. I think the 12-team league is terrible. It's past its sell-by date. And that ultimately makes the league worse, believe it or not, I think. I think that the way that the league is set up doesn't help other teams. It helps teams that finish 9th and upwards just have their sustainability. I think that, I mean, there has to be something, there has to be some kind of pressure that we could put on the league as a nation. And I'm not just saying this for Celtic fans, I'm talking about any fan that watches this. If you believe that in this day and age, in 2024, if you believe that the 12-team league is great for Scotland, you need to have a serious word with yourself, because it's not. It is not. The 12-team league ultimately hurts Scottish football, and I don't care what team you support. I mean, playing each other 4 times is past it. It was a thing that was brought in the early days of the SPFL so that Sky could have a monopoly over the Scottish football. Ultimately, what Sky pays Scottish football has decreased in real term value over the years, but you know, it is what it is. We get paid buttons from Sky, and we think that we should just put out the begging bowl and just accept what we're given. I think that Scottish football is ultimately can be better than what it is. I think giving clubs the financial clout and the games where everything isn't so cutthroat. You know, and that's what it is. I mean, Brendan Rodgers talks about it. Every single game in Scottish football is a must-win. You cannot draw at Celtic. You know, if you draw at Celtic, it is that cutthroat that it's. You know, it's like if you draw at Celtic, it's like a loss. And never mind if it's a loss, well, it's even worse, because it's like the end of the world. And that has been created. That has been created by this 12-team league format. That's not been created by anything else. It's not been created by the media. It's not been created by the fans. When you think back to the 1980s, say, and you look at football then, you know, if you got beat, it was bad. But I think social media and everything has a lot to do with it as well, and putting that pressure. Correct, Baz. It should be a 16-team league, 2 up, 2 down, and 2 playoff places. John, I would like to actually go to a bigger league. I would like to go to an 18, 20-team league and just make the tools, narrow down the nonsense that is Scottish football. The people that run the Scottish game really have to look at themselves. 16 play each other twice and then do the playoffs. I think that we should keep the playoffs anyway. Get away with this mid-table split. It's embarrassing. The mid-table split is embarrassing. And when you look at it at the end of the season, you can have a team finishing on 65 points, right? And you can have 3 teams, say, finishing on 60, 62 and 65 points. But then the team in third and sixth position is finishing on 50 points. It's ridiculous. It is absolute ridiculous. And it's just, it needs changed. And if people that run Scottish football can't see that, well, they're killing the people that run Scottish football, and the owners of the clubs are killing our game. And it's as simple as that. It's not the fact that Celtic are dominant. That's nothing to do with it. People will say, oh, Celtic overspending and everyone else. That's what's killing our game. No, it's not. What's killing our game is the need for club owners to not think outside the box and not want a bigger league, because it will reduce how much money they're going to get. We'll see if you filled your stadium every week, you would manage to make even more money, than any team. 18-team league would make good few clubs wealthier. It would. It would make, it's the Keystone Capers. It's a pure joke, man. It is. It's absolutely nuts. Anyway, right, let's move on to some more of the Celtic headlines. Spoke about that one. Brendan Rodgers talked about the fact that we were booed off the park. Another headline that's out this morning. It tells you everything about him. Brendan Rodgers talks up Celtic player Luke McCowen. And there's quite a few headlines about that. And Brendan Rodgers told BBC Sport, or BBC Scotland on the radio. He says he's had to be patient. He gets his reward. He works very hard. It tells you everything about him that he comes on for 70 odd minutes. He's so good at his pressing, his energy, his quality. Celtic are next due to play Aberdeen at Pittodrie. Has he done enough to get the start in that team against Jimmy's side up in Aberdeen? Well, it's a big game for Jimmy and Aberdeen today. They drop any points, and Celtic are on the... And we've got a game on Wednesday against Aberdeen, so we'll get talking about that over the next day or so. Brendan Rodgers raves about relentless Celtic display en route of Ross County as we score 5 goals. We're going to get to the Brendan Rodgers interview in a minute. That's coming out of the Irish News. The Irish Times say Liam Scales and Adam Ida score as Celtic power past Ross County. The champions move 5 points clear ahead of Aberdeen, who play Hearts on Sunday. Come on, you Dons! Come on, you Dons. Come on, you Dons, and pile on the agony to that lot. Celtic demonstrated their strength and depth with a 5-0 rout of Ross County. There was a Sevconian fan. There was a Sevconian fan went onto the Celtic Twitter feed, and he put, beating Ross County 6-0's no for everybody, isn't it? And quite a few Celtic fans quite rightly said, mate, we played our B team and beat them 5-0. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, we beat them 6-0. Alright, man, we beat them 6-0. Half my teeth missing and that I'm a hand. And it's like, well, we played our B team and we beat them 5-0. So just imagine if we did play our full first team. Do you know what I mean? So, anyway, we move on for that. We're going to head back down to England for one of the The big papers down there. Celtic 5, Ross County 0. Rodgers hails his special reserves at Parkhead as the Parkhead men prepare for a defining fortnight of crucial fixtures. Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers last night welcomed the arrival of a furious fortnight. A furious fortnight. Who wrote this? Gary McCowen. Gary Cohen. There you go. Rodgers made 6 changes from the side that drew 1-1 with Club Brugge in the Champions League for yesterday's visit to Ross County that saw his side win thanks to first half goals from Liam Scales, Luke McCowen, Paulo Bernardo, Callum McGregor and Adam Ida. Who do you think was the best goal? Whose was the best goal yesterday? Tell me in the comment section. Who do you think was the best goal? I'm going to go for Callum. Was it Callum McGregor's? Callum McGregor, because it was that far out. That's a hard one. I mean, whose was the best goal yesterday? Was it Paulo Bernardo for being in the box and getting it through the players? Was it Luke McCowen for taking it down on the side of the box? Spaz doesn't give you a shout out. I'm going to unsubscribe. Tom Courtney. No, you're not. I don't think we're going to get to the 20k this morning. It's going up far too slow. We've been on for half an hour and we've only gained like 2 or 3 subscribers. Calmac, Idas, Adam Idas, that's a good shout. I think we've got 2 teams, 2 A teams. Yeah, I think we do have 2 A teams. I'm still laughing at Tom Courtney's. That doesn't give me a shout out. I'm unsubscribing at 999. I'm going to be walking about all day saying, go and subscribe to my channel, go and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to have to stay on live till we get to... no chance. I'm drinking this coffee before it gets cold. Why don't you do another poll, Baz? Because it would take far too long to type it out. Sunday breakfast. Calmac. Good morning all, says Joe. Ida's a contender for best goal also. Yep. Captain fantastic. Can he stop scoring screamers? Yeah, I think so as well. Callum McGregor, just for the distance. And he always tees it up. He always gets in that... And this is why I like Callum McGregor further forward. I don't like him playing that holding midfield player role because he never gets into that position on the edge of the box as much. We're going to hit 20 the night, Baz. Yeah, I think we're going to have to come back on tonight and do a live when we get to I think it's too early in the morning. I bet you if we came on after, if the results go the right way today, I bet you would jump on a live and it would jump up no problem whatsoever. There's not enough people. Oh, there's another one. 7 to go. Like, get on your phone, get on the dog and bone, right? It's like, mate, get your bed, go to YouTube. In fact, just get off stage your bed, just go to YouTube and subscribe to One Celtic Fans View. Do it now. If you don't, I'm going to phone you back in 5 minutes because I'm watching the sub count. Mate, alright, it's me, happening. Yep, go to One Celtic Fans View and subscribe to the channel. I don't care what you're doing. That's wrong, man. That's just wrong. Just go and subscribe once you're finished doing that. Anyway, magnificent 7 to go. Yes, is that. Baz said, Carly said 20k by the 1st of December. Yep, you did that, Carly. It is the 1st of December today. We're 7 away. The B team is the only team in Scotland that can complete with the first team. Yes, it is. It is. 62 likes and 182 watching. Come on, boys, hit the thumbs up. Says, right, let me jump back on to, we seem to have lost tangent to the guy that went on the Super Scoreboard and left at half time. And left at half time to go to the pub because he'd seen enough. And he'd probably had a few bevies too many, and he's walking home. He's like, I'm fucking phoning that Super Scoreboard, bunch of bastards. He'd probably phoned that. But he said he went home. He left to head home at the break. I don't think he claimed that he was bored of how good Celtic are, and bored of we went on a tangent since then, and bored of the competition in Scotland. These claims are nothing but entitled, and the entitled fan in particular should take a long look at himself. It's genuinely puzzling how any Celtic supporter can be bored of domestic success, considering what we went through in the 1990s. for any fan to take anything, the trophies, even the club's existence, for granted. They need to look at the head. And the only thing that, see if that fan had turned around and said, rather than said, I was bored of the football, I'm away home. See, I think he would get a lot more respect if he went, fuck, I've seen enough, I'm away to the pub before I catch the bus to head home. I've been there and done it on a cold December day, when you've been hanging for the night before, and you're 4 or 5-0 up at half time, and your mate goes, want to go for a pint? And you go, fuck it, man, we've watched the game in the Oak. So I mean, we'll go and watch the game in the Oak. We'll go and watch the game in the Oak, and you would never phone up Super Scoreboard after it. You would never phone Super Scoreboard. But you go to the Oak, and then you hit a few pints, and then you make a mad dash to the bus park to jump your supporters bus back home. Here's another subscriber to this. Here's another sub, thanks to me. Watch this. We're watching Carly. Carly's going to subscribe to one of her other channels. Watch this. We're waiting. Not a fan, just a fanny, says Alan. Yep. Baz must have 100 cream buns on the that live on the M8. Heavy lagging viewers. Yep. That right. Anyway, let's listen to some of the interviews from yesterday. I had them up here. So first of all, I want to listen to the man of the moment, the man that I said would score an absolute screamer, and so what, it was only Ross County, but a year ago, at the same time, we got booed off by Ross County. So let's listen to Luke McCowen and see what he said about the game yesterday.
Good performance. First half we needed to start quick, and that would kind of help us throughout the game, and the boys showed that. Unlucky in the second half, a couple of chances here and there didn't fall for us, but the performance was top level.
So it was through your goal as well?
Just made a good run, skills he finds you, and able to put it in the net. But you just know that players of his quality are going to find you, so that's why you make the runs like that.
He's so calm and so underwhelmed and just, you know, he's just taking it as it's unbelievable. When you look at him talking, he's just a player that is just he's not going to get above his station. You know, he's not going to think he's a superstar. You know, he's never going to think that he's fucking Maldini or something. He's just a young guy that loves playing for Celtic, and he's just like, so what? I'm doing my job. You know what I mean?
You've obviously hit the ground running since you've come here at Celtic, but that first half especially seemed to be one of your best performances in green and white. Would you agree with that?
Probably. I mean, I just want to try and help the team as much as I can, no matter what kind of game time I'm getting or whatever. So I know it was good game. It's just to not get too ahead of myself now. It's to go and push on and keep trying to impact the games and help the team get 3 points each time.
You're speaking about impacting the games, but getting a goal and 3 assists isn't that bad at all.
No, it's alright, I guess. I know it's good. Probably could have got more assists in the second half, but as I said, sometimes chances don't fall and kind of get unlucky in certain times. But no, it was a good performance. Boys were great.
You must hope after a performance like that you stay in the team on Wednesday.
I mean, that's not my decision, I guess, but it's the squad's massive. It's full of unbelievable quality. No matter if I'm starting or not, I'm ready to play and ready to kind of help the team. Even if I'm not playing, I'm still helping the team throughout training and around the place and whatever. So I'm just ready to go whenever the manager calls upon me.
How big could the next fortnight be? Like, you think Zagreb away, cup final? It's massive, isn't it?
It's as big as you make it, I guess. I mean,
it's as big as you make it.
So each game.
I love that from a Celtic player. 3 viewers to go. Oh my God, we're going to do it. I'm going to have a fluffy unicorn moment. I just love the way that Celtic players is. When it's a busy fortnight, and he's just like, "That's what it is. We just take it one game at a time."
Here to Ross County, away to Aberdeen, and then as you said, away to Zagreb and whatever. But it's just the old cliche about taking one game at a time and knowing the importance of each one. I'm at a team now where it literally is every game's near enough a final. You want to make the standards that high, so no, the boys know that and are ready for it.
How much are you boys relishing the challenge of Aberdeen? You know, they're quite clearly your nearest challenges this season, going up to Tildray on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's, as I said, it sounds so robotic, but you've just got to take whatever's in front of you. It doesn't matter who the team is, you've just got to know that your performance level's got to be high, and then from there you kind of are able to push on and get goals and get whatever, but you just know the performance level's got to be at it, and that doesn't drop no matter who we're playing.
Obviously, when the 2-2 game was here against the Dons a few weeks ago, you were level, both pretty much flawless in the campaign, but it could be the case where on Wednesday night you move 8 points clear and start to really create a gap.
Sorry, Luke.
Is that what you're looking to do? Is
Sorry,
that
Luke.
what you're talking about in the change room?
Quick, look,
No.
get Luke off. Where is he?
No,
Where is
I'm
he?
not talking about it anymore. Tell me what we're watching on Netflix, I think.
Do you watch Netflix? I've done it. Oh, who done that? Complete arseholes. Honestly, there's some complete arseholes. I'm not doing it until it gets over 20,000, 20,000. Right, I'm not even looking at it. I'm staying away from the chat until we hit way over. Some folk right at it. Right, anyway, let's get back to Luke McCowen. Let's get back to business. So there's folk just playing Egypts on the subscribing bit.
Starting 5. But the boys on the, you don't look at that and think about, well, I don't anyway, I can't speak on behalf of them, but you don't sit and think about league tables and whatever. You just want to, as I said, performance levels is massive, training intensity is massive. You just go with that, and as the games build up, as you said, if the points are there and you're at a gap, so be it, but it's all about performance levels here, and you just need to keep that up.
What does it say about the strength of the squad? 6 changes made today, 4 you score and you turn in a performance like that?
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. No matter what game time you're getting, you can't have a petted lip. You need to kind of come here and be ready for the game time, even if you've not played in a while. You just need to be ready to come in and be as high as a quality as the person that was in front of you. And it's about spurring everybody on. It's about pushing each other, that you get the best of each other. And like Cal does that amazing to get everybody together and keep the squad together. So it's been really good, and as you said there, it's amazing that other boys are making impacts as well.
And that was the one and only Luke McCowen, the man of the moment. The man of the moment. Talking about the game yesterday. Right, since we've heard from Luke.
Callum, fantastic result. Can you talk me through the performance all across the pitch?
Yeah, outstanding, especially after a tough game midweek. The idea was to try and get the speed and the tempo and the quality in the ball from the very off, and I thought the boys did that. Really good idea. And then once you get the first one, you're hungry for more. You're trying to kill the game as quickly as you can, and obviously the goals all coming in the first half was excellent. It sort of kills the game, and the boys continued to push second half. Just unlucky a couple of moments where we maybe could have got another one and maybe spark another couple of goals, but overall a really good day's work.
There's always a chance when you make a number of changes that things can be flat, but there was absolutely no sense of that from the first whistle.
No, not at all. And the guys that have been coming into the games have made a huge impact for us, and the squad is so important. We need every single player at their maximum level, and that's why we've been so good. And then the guys come in, we make a few changes today, and the level's super high again as well. Brilliant energy, brilliant quality, summed up by the wee man. He gets his goal and a few assists as well, but that's what we want. Everybody
Never
to come
mind
in
about his, what about
and
yours?
work as hard as they can for the team and produce those moments, and like I say, we're all in it together.
I'll grab a word with the wee man. Look, we spoke before the game and you recognised how important it was that everybody was on this. You got that and more from across everyone, eh?
Yeah, you can't have a petted lip when you're not playing in this team. You've got to be ready to come on. As he said, the squad's massive, but it's all full of quality. And there's that many games in the season that you've just got to be ready when called upon.
I mean, a team plays as well as that. How proud are you that above everyone else you stood out as that man of the match today? 3 assists and a goal. I
mean, it's nice, but it's, as you said, it's all about performance levels and maintaining that and coming into the team and not letting it drop. You've got some quality ahead of me in the team, and when I come into it, I've got to just make sure that I'm there, and if that means that I'm going to get man of the match, so be it. But the most important thing is 3 points and coming away with a good goal difference.
such as life at Celtic, you won't get a lot of time to settle on this. But I noticed the manager was even coaching you as the game had finished. Is it kind of at that level of professionalism and focus that we need, because there's another big tie coming up midweek?
Yeah, well, I just always want to learn. It's obviously coming here, you want to be like a bit like a sponge. I think I'm asking him 20 million questions a day on how to play positions and whatever. But no, I'm just always willing to learn and just don't want to drop the standards and don't want to drop the level. So you just want to keep them going.
That's absolutely brilliant for Luke McCowen, saying that he's quizzing Callum McGregor every single day in training about playing the position. You know, he knows that he's going to, that ultimately that he could be at Celtic for many years to come, and he knows that he can play in Callum McGregor's position ultimately in a couple of years' time. So quizzing Callum McGregor as much as he can, and I'm admitting to that, and to Celtic TV, is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, man. And the zombies are having a fair time on the old channel today, aren't they?
Well, whatever he's doing, it's working. A fantastic performance. You are the Daffabet man of the match, Callum. You do the honours. Well done, guys. Thanks.
Well done, Luke McCowen on that one. Right, we need to get to Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers was interviewed a couple of times yesterday. He was interviewed right after the game. We're going to see what he said to Celtic TV.
Done, Brendan, but what pleased you most about the display?
Everything. It was a complete performance. I thought that first half, always our pressing, counter pressing was so good. A few of the goals come from that. The speed of our game was a really high level. The structure in the team, and just that overall hunger and greed in the game to want the ball, and that's what we talked about, you know, before the game. Like I said to you guys, let's not wait on the game. We've got to create it, and goodness me, the guys did that. Second half, I thought was a similar performance, but you have to give credit to Ross County, because the guys made some great saves. We hit the crossbar twice, hit the post. They made some really good blocks, or we could add more goals. But overall, an absolutely brilliant team performance.
Callum used the word hungry, and you spoke of hunger. There was nobody with a greater appetite than Luke McCowen today. I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, well, scoring and getting his assists as well. He's really now settling in to be a Celtic player. Like I said before, he he's unlucky maybe not to start at more games, but whenever he's been asked upon to come in, he's performed. And what you want to see from those eights, him and Paulo Bernardo, I thought were outstanding today.
Yep.
And they created goals, scored goals, pressed the game, and their overall quality was outstanding.
Will there be massive changes to once obviously we enter the Scottish Cup in just a couple of weeks' time? We enter the draws for the Scottish Cup. Is that not this week? Do you think that Brendan Rodgers will make massive changes for the early rounds of the Scottish Cup? Will he entrust Paulo? But I think he will, won't he? He's going to entrust Paulo Bernardo. He's going to entrust Luke McCowen and say, right, this is your competition. This is your chance to shine. This is your chance to get your little bit of history. This is your chance to make a massive impact on this season and the history that we are making here at Celtic Football Club. Not only is the One Celtic Fans View getting over 20,000 subscribers this season, but Celtic are going on for a treble that will ultimately make us the undisputed best team ever in Scotland. And I don't think anybody will catch us anytime soon.
How pleasing is it as a manager that when you make those changes, you have Liam Scales is in, an assist and a goal, Luke McCowen, we've spoke about his goal and assists, Paulo Bernardo, Adamida, that you see a kind of team moving as one almost, and the changes aren't having any significant impact.
Before Brendan speaks, if you go back to his press conference on Friday, he said that, look, I want my team, Brendan Rodgers, his exact words was, I don't just want strikers to score goals, I want goals to come from all around the team. And I tell you one thing, he got his wish yesterday, and if we keep playing like that, are we unstoppable? Is there anybody in Scotland that can make a big dent into our season? Realistically, is there anybody in Scotland? We're on such a good vein of form, and I always go back to when we were 7 games into the season and people were telling me to calm down, Baz, it's only 7 games into the season. And I said then, because I seen the stats and I thought this team has got the potential to be just as good as the 2016-2017 team. And do you know what? They're proving me right. This team has proven me right. If they keep on going the way they're going, they're doing better in the Champions League. It's a different format, yes, but they're doing way better in the Champions League. They're playing better. In the league, they're playing just as good as the 2016-2017 team. The bench that we've got, the fact that we're able to rotate players more than the 2016-2017 team, that was quite a settled team. There wasn't as much squad rotation went back in those days. Interesting.
I think we've seen that before today. I think we've seen it in other games where we are making changes and it's not affecting the quality of the team. I said before, we've made the changes that we've made, but by no way are we changing the quality of the team. We've still got high level quality, but you want to see the hunger, you want to see the ambition in the team, and they could have easily maybe come out and played the way into the game, but no, the mentality was so good, and it was a joy to watch.
And you'll need more of it again. You'll know that there's a stiff challenge awaits with a trip to Pataudry.
Yeah, absolutely. But we'll enjoy this one, analyse it, and then get ready for that.
And then
cheers, thank you.
We put out the Northern Lights once and for all for the rest of the season, and then we push Celtic as we are sitting on 2,003 subscribers. Thank you to everyone. We've done it. You have done it. You have done it. It is an unbelievable feat, and I'm not going to. I'm just a bit lost for words. Let's look at the league table. Where is the league table? Let's look at that league table first of all. Celtic are sitting on 37 points with 13 games played. Aberdeen that's not updated. That's wrong. Is Aberdeen kicked off? They're not kicked off. Have they played today? That's not right, that table. We'll forget about that just now. Who cares about the league table? We're on 2,003 subscribers. Let's jump into the chat where it's going absolute delirious. First of all, a big shout out to Lorna Mick07, who has become a new member of the One Celtic Fans View. Welcome to the channel, Lorna. Let me just go with your activity. Why is it not coming up there? Yep, welcome to the members community, Lorna, and you'll find that it's there's going to be more coming up with the members only videos. We need a poll to name the ugliest hun front in the Rangers board. No, we don't, Tom. Somebody says if we keep the squad and the nature of it, I don't see how we will lose a domestic game this and next season. Interesting. 55 is the magic number. Road to 30k has begun, says Aidan. Yes, it has. It has begun. As the count, or the subscriber count, was having a good old time there. It was jumping up and down between the 20,000 and going back down to 19,997. So, but it is at 20,003 now, onwards and upwards. We've managed to reach the target way before I thought we were doing. Big Des says, I don't care if it's early, I'm having a beer for you, Baz. Scout McDonald says, I'm a new subscriber from Brizzy. Hail, thank you, Sky Macintosh. Ceneri says, I'm at home, but brilliant to see you hit 20,000. Listen, none of this could be done without every single Celtic fan that watches, and the chat on this is absolute. And everyone give Sky a big shout out, who's a brand new subscriber to the channel. Here we go for 10 in a row. We're at 20,004 now. Do you know this? The channel isn't about me. It's never about me. This channel is all about the fact that it was always to be a One Celtic Fans View, and I need a fresh hit of meltdown. So Carly, hopefully we'll get that this afternoon, and you know what channel will be on if it does happen. This channel was never meant to be about me. It was always a community that I was hoping to build, and it's something that we have done, and it's something that we'll continue to do. And I just think that, you know, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. Just give me a second here. Yeah. We're on to 20,005. It is going up in the right direction. Oh my goodness. Anyway, if we move on ever so slightly. Jesus. Who'd have thought doing a YouTube channel would do this to you? Anyway, Brendan Rodgers. Are we going to listen to another Brendan Rodgers interview? We'll just listen to that. Let's get rid of some of these screens. We'll listen to the Luke McCowen one. Let's listen to the full Brendan Rodgers post-match media conference from yesterday. What just happened to the... Oh yeah, it's cool. Jesus. Let's listen to Brendan Rodgers in the full post-match media conference yesterday. That lasted only 5 minutes.
It was so good, and yeah, everything that you would want as a coach. Well, I said before the game that we it's not a game we want to wait on. We want to go and create the game, and from the very first whistle you see the hunger and the determination in the players and the mentality to impose our style in the game. And yeah, Scalesy gets us off to a great start, great ball in, gets the header, and we were relentless after that. We played equally as well in the second half, but you have to give credit to the goalkeeper. He's made some brilliant saves. We had the crossbar twice, I think the post, and then some really good defending by Ross County. But wow, some of the football that we played, and not only that, the speed of the game was... I was so impressed with the mentality of the team. You
made 6 changes before the game, but it didn't look like that out there at all. It looked like, that was the first choice 11. Yeah,
they're all starters. Scalesy can start, Alex Baye can start, the 2 8s can start, Adamida can start, Jamesy is Jamesy, So no, they're all there, and but they know that I trust them, and they know the structure of the team. The guys that have come in have settled in, and and they know the demand and the hunger that's required.
You've had strong squads here before, Brendan, but is this right up there with the fact that it seems that everyone in the squad is almost playing at their top level at the moment?
No, I think we're getting there. Listen, it's not lost on me. We got booed off here last year.
Hey,
we lost 1-0. No, we didn't. Actually, won 1-0. Sorry,
1-0.
Actually, won 1-0. But what I know from my time, and obviously knowing Celtic, it isn't just about the scoreline. It's about the performance, and I think what's great is the consistency now, and how from those moments of last year, how this team is evolving and developing, and it's now it's that continuation of consistency and the mindset. But no, that was these games can be really tricky after the highs of a Champions League game and a good point in midweek, but to come and play with that energy and mentality and quality, that's really pleasing.
A word for Luke McCowen, a goal and 3 assists. He looked very much up for it, didn't he?
Yeah, and he has been. He's just been unfortunate. Maybe hasn't played a little bit more, but it's a bit bedding into the system and the demands of how we play. But now you see he's totally ingrained in the touch pass tempo that we play, and the movement and the pressing and the work. And I thought he was absolutely brilliant today. His goals, his personality in the game. I thought him and Paolo in the 2 8s were very, very good, along with Cal, just distributing the game with the quality that he does. So yeah, it was. Yeah, the guys that came in were excellent.
How big is the next couple of weeks, Brendan? You think with Pittodrie, Zagreb, Cup final? It's a massive part of the season.
Yeah, but and we're really excited by it. I think that's these are the environments that we want to be in. So we're trying to develop a team that is going to challenge on all fronts, and that's confidence that the team have at the moment. But I think what you see today is the real humility of the team. There's nobody. We make the changes. The players come in, work.
Yeah.
Tirelessly to the structure that we want, and in all these games we need that.
We do. Here's a question for you. How does Brendan Rodgers and Paul Tisdale make this team better? I think we'll do a video this afternoon. We might do a live this afternoon talking about that. We'll do a live in between the games this afternoon. Maybe after the Aberdeen game. We'll see. Keep an eye out on the community tab. We'll do a video. It's and we'll chat about how does Brendan Rodgers and Paul Tisdale ultimately make this team better. Brendan Rodgers wants us firing on all cylinders on all fronts, and he wants us to be dominant in Scottish football. And when you look at it, we're doing that. But ultimately, how can Brendan Rodgers, and what type of player, and ultimately what is the level of the player that they're going to bring in to get us to the next level, not only when it comes to Europe, but and he needs to make. How is he going to make this? What positions does he come in and make the players buy in players that's going to make the squad better? I'm glad it's him that's doing it and not me.
I speak of it as a manager, just having that comfort, knowing whoever you pick will do the job that you want.
Yeah, I think it feels really good at the minute. It's a big credit to the club in the summer, in terms of supporting what it is we need. So we bring in the players that we wanted. I think we see we see the development of some of those players as well, and which is great. But no, the team's in a really, really good place. But we'll never get carried away. It's a fantastic performance. It's a real strong sign that we send out. But we still work and have to work very hard.
Wednesday night, just a chance to put a bit of daylight between you and Aberdeen at the top.
Yeah, it's another opportunity to go there. A great atmosphere. I enjoy the games at Pittodrie. They're great challenges always, and for us, we know that we're going in with a really fresh squad, confident squad. But we know like in every game, we have to work very, very hard for the result.
Given how strong the squad looks, Brendan, would you necessarily be looking to add in January?
Do you not want me to? You always have to look for improvement, and I know there's improvement left that we have within the squads. But it's always balanced. It's always around availability. I would know what I would like to do.
Interesting.
But let's see if we can. But in the meantime, it's the players that are here that are progressing and working very well.
Interesting. Brendan knows what he would like to do when it comes to the transfer market, and I just think that forward thinking the way that Brendan does, it's just an unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable time to be a Celtic fan. Let's jump into Stephen Johnson says, in the name of the Father, the Son and the Holy Ghost, everyone around the world, thank you very so much for making Baz 20,000, says Stephen Johnson. Amen. Taylor and Hatati off in January, definitely by the end of the season in my opinion, says Ewan Boy Martin. Taylor's away in January, so we'll definitely need a player to come in and replace him. Rio Hatati is another one who I think is coming towards the end of his Celtic journey. He spoke about many times of being playing at a higher level in domestic football. Peter Lackers says, the channel is about you, Baz, and you're brilliant, mate. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be on the channel. The Celtic fans on here are becoming friends, and that would never happen. Baz, you're the man, mate. Cheers for that. You said getting me really emotional today, which is weird. Well done, Baz, rolling to 30k. Well done, Baz. A nice landmark. It is just a number. It is just a number, but it's a fantastic number to be at. That wouldn't happen if it wasn't for every single one that focuses on the chat and the community that we have. When we look at the SPFL league at the moment, Celtic are sitting on 37 points. We've played the same amount of games as Aberdeen, who are sitting on 32 points. They will hopefully be able to do the business today and maintain that little lead that they have over third team place, who are sitting on 23 points. The third team place are under massive pressure from Dundee United, who are also on 23 points. Any slip up today will allow Dundee United that little bit of belief that they can jump into third position. When Dundee United jump into third position, that will take us right back to the 1980s in terms of Scottish football. It will bring back the focus of the new firm and the new firm derby, which was Aberdeen versus Dundee United. Can Aberdeen and Dundee United ultimately turn the clock back in Scottish football, and by turning it back to a bygone era when Dundee United were successful, Aberdeen were successful, and Rangers were also Rans. They've been also Rans for a long time in Scottish football. The new club that came along in 2012 thinks that they're something special. There's only one thing that is special, and that is Celtic. Celtic is a family. Celtic has fan base all around the world, and Celtic as a community, the one Celtic fans view, has completely and utterly changed my life. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. And you, especially you, because you've watched this right to the end. And if you're still here at this point, you're absolutely amazing. And I love every single one of you. Have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, all around the world.